Welcome back to day 3 of Bold Strokes Books Bookathon. I hope you're all having a fabulous time. I have the amazing Carsen Taite with me. We are still waiting on Vali, so she's going to be fashionably late. So Carsen's going to start off. Just 2 quick things about Zoom. Not that we need it for right now, but once Ali shows up, your gallery view is going to be the best way to see everybody. That's the button at the top right-hand corner of your screen. If you have questions for Carsen or Ali, please put them in the Q&A box, which is the bottom middle of your screen. And any compliments or commentary you may have for Ali and Carsen, you're free to use the chat roll. All right, over to you, Carsen Taite.
Before you exit, I think Ali is here, but hidden.
All right,
attendees.
I'm gonna go find her. There she is.
She likes to make an entrance, you know. So, hello everyone. I hope you're doing well out there.
Hi, Vali. All right, see you guys.
Awesome.
Thank you. How's it going?
Hey, pal, how are you? You like to make an entrance, don't you?
For like a half an hour. The wheel of death. It wouldn't let me in.
That happened to me yesterday. So I was just telling our audience I hope they're doing well and,
Yes.
you know, staying home, staying safe, but it's hard.
It is hard, very hard.
You would think you'd have a lot extra time to
I know.
do things.
I garden. I got my first tomato yesterday. I was all excited.
That's awesome. You're being more productive than I am.
It's the most expensive tomato I've ever grown. You understand?
I expect you to save me a slice.
I know. And then the thing is, I don't like tomatoes. So. It's hard.
Well, I love tomatoes. So hello, that's people from Spain and so this is exciting. So we came on to talk about our novella collection that's coming out in July, and we're going to pretend that Jenny Frame is here with us.
Exactly. I'm sorry she couldn't make it today.
She is Scottish, so that would have added a really cool accent to our panel. Very disappointed. But to send everyone their hello and a shout out from Scotland. So anyway, do you want to talk about your story?
Yes, I contemplated trying to think of a story, and then I finally I got inspiration from the new book is set in Nashville. So while I was in Nashville, it's not actually in Nashville, but we went to tour the Jack Daniel's facility.
I'm jealous.
Yes, it was very nice. I did the tasting one, which is like a
well, why would you do anything?
Exactly.
I don't understand.
There's like a tour and there's the tasting tour. It's like I did the tasting tour, and it was kind of like when you go. I don't know if you've ever done the wine tasting in California, but they give you I think it's called an oot. And then they let you taste all the wine, and then they were like, "Would you like to spit it out?" Like,
no. No, thank you.
Like, swallow it. Thank you. So while I was there, I thought, man, this would be a really cool story. Well, actually, in Louisiana, I think they've been in business now for about 5 years. It's kind of like the Tito story, but not quite as successful. A town actually very close to us started a distillery, and they make rum and they make vodka, and they're starting on whiskey pretty soon. So my story is called On the Rocks. It is about a master distiller. Her family has been in the whiskey business since before the Civil War, and she in college falls in love. Preston Sinclair is her name, in Sinclair Distilleries. Preston falls in love with Haley Wyatt, who was a New Yorker, and they fall madly in love. They start planning a future, and one day Haley just disappears. So they are looking. She is now pretty much the head of Sinclair Distillery. This is years later, and they're looking for a new advertising firm, and they're meeting with the Wyatt advertising firm, and she doesn't realize that it's who shows up on her doorstep but her long lost love, who too happy to see. So. So I got to combine my love of the city and my love of spirits.
I'm going to love this book because I love the city.
I had a good
spirits. As you know.
So I think it turned out pretty good. So I'm looking forward.
And I think you still owe me drinks.
Huh?
I think you still owe me drinks.
I know. Y'all need to come to Louisiana. We're going to take a drive over to Biloxi. I just recently, of course, I find it, and then, as I find it and I fall in love with it, there's a pandemic that shuts everything down. But
you're talking about Biloxi, Mississippi?
Biloxi, Mississippi.
My parents honeymooned to there.
They did? Oh.
Yes, totally.
Invite them. I would love to buy Mr. Jerry a drink. They just opened the Black Clover Bar inside of the Beau Rivage Casino.
My cousin's wife works at the Beau Rivage. No, I'm sorry, his daughter.
It's a smoked old fashioned.
Oh.
And it's like you have died and gone to heaven. Let me tell you, it is.
Is the whiskey smoked, or do they do that smoky magic thing?
They did it with like special wood chips.
Yeah.
And after he makes a drink, he smokes it. But it was like I was talking to the bartender for quite a long time because I had more than one. But
Melissa Braden just texted me and said we need to all go to that bar.
Awesome. I mean, it's like just think of big, huge leather Chesterfields. And like a very relaxing atmosphere, and then they give you this drink, and it's got this big, gigantic ice ball in it, and then they mull the cherries in Maker's Mark whiskey, and then they smoke the old fashioned. It's unbelievable. Yeah,
I'm so into that.
So, I mean, there's plenty of good drinks in New Orleans. Don't get me wrong, but that one was. I love a good old fashioned. It's one of my favorite drinks.
Me too. It's just a classic. You can't.
Yeah. When they said this was their specialty, it was like, oh, wait a minute.
Right. Put it on the list. Put it on.
Exactly.
So I'm going to take a minute and show everybody the cover to our book. Not very well, apparently. I have bad backlighting. The collection of novellas is called "Still Not Over You." Okay, well, I suck at this apparently, but anyway, it's brilliant, and
yeah, well, I can't wait to read
my story. Is set in Texas, duh, and it to do with my main for a exploration company. They rent out drilling equipment and things to people who are looking for oil, and the company is in trouble, and so she's making a match to bring the company back to life. But when she was young, she was on the verge, like very on the verge, like had the dress and all that, ready to marry her first love. And
oh, did we lose Carsen? Oh, there she is.
So to illustrate running away, I just ran away. But
I think she's making an old fashioned.
Anyway, so she's at the courthouse to get her license to marry this new chick, and who does she run into but her first love? Wow. So the question is, will she be a runaway bride twice?
Let me think.
Yeah. Put your money down, put your bets down.
I think we have a question, and that is how from Daniela McKee.
Awesome.
Where do you get your inspiration for the names of your main characters?
That's a great question. Allie?
Strangely enough, I like to walk through the cemetery.
She has taken me through the cemetery, but forbidden me from
I like to walk through the cemetery, and I like to pick names, especially if they've been gone for a long time, and I figure this is a good way to kind of remember them, even if I never knew them. To bring them back in print. So, yes. I mean, every once in a while. I have a list when I walk through. I'll take pictures, and then I come home and write down my list, and then I'll scratch out as I go on.
I heard John Grisham speak, and he said he gets a lot of his names from obituaries, so you're in good company. Yeah, I get them from all over. I mean, I'll be watching TV, and I'll hear a name. I just, whenever I hear something interesting, it's fun to use, at least have one of the characters have a name that's, that you just haven't heard before. Mm-hmm. And then it's also fun to me to use kind of classic names, you know, like.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And that's where the cemetery comes in handy.
Yeah. And then, you know, sometimes it's awkward because I pick names ahead of time, you know, because when you send stuff to Sandy, she's so, you know, she needs it now. And you got to pick a name. And so,
I know, right? Details.
Yeah. You know, I named one of my characters Bray, and then the new character in this new book is Victoria. So, of course, my editor's name is
Victoria.
Her pen name is Bray. Willow. So Bray Willow. So one of them was called Willow. It was like writing sex scenes was so awkward. It's like, oh my God, I now have to send this to her.
Put that on the list of things.
So put that on your list if you're thinking about writing and they give you an editor. Don't name your characters after them.
Yeah, exactly. So here's a question. I'm going to toss this one to you because you're so likely to do this. Could it be in any book you will ever include a trip to Spain? And I'm tossing this to Allie because the last couple of years, Allie's been on a travel binge.
No, I've been on my bucket list. I've been checking stuff off. I have not been to Spain since I was a senior in college.
Oh, I've never been.
And I basically ate my way through paella and drank sangria from one end of Spain to the other. But I would love to go back. I was actually talking about that right before this pandemic because I was planning. Last year we took a lot of trips. We went to Germany and Paris, and we went to Morocco, and I mean, we did a foliage tour, and I mean, we did a lot of traveling last year. Thank the Lord, because this year I'm traveling to see my bust. I get to go see my tomato, and that's it. But yes, no, I would love to go to Spain, and when I do, hopefully one of the books will be in Spanish soon. I know they're in Russian and they're in French, but I don't believe I have any in Spanish yet. But I would love to go to Spain. So, and if you buy me a glass of sangria, I'll entertain you for hours on it.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
Let's see what other questions do we have here. What's your favorite book you've ever written?
Well, that's a hard one. I'm gonna say the last one I just finished. It's coming out in June. You know, the favorite changes daily, but this one's fresh in my mind, and I really like it. It's a murder mystery romance because you know those things go together. It's a romantic suspense, but it involves a murder mystery, and one of the characters is
those are my favorites.
Person of interest in the case, and the other is the detective investigating. And so there's high conflict, high drama, high stakes, big love. There you go.
Very good.
How about you?
Great. Especially since we get those a little ahead of time. I can't wait to see it. Somebody asked, is there something coming soon from the Kane Casey series?
Yeah.
What I was doing right before we came on. I'm deep into it now. Not to give anything away, but we just found a head in the refrigerator. So yes, there will be. I can't quite remember exactly when this one's due out, but I want to say it's early, like January of next year. The Devil Incarnate is the next one in the series. And then
Devil
since I
in
just
Print, I
introduced
love
the
that.
Russian mob, I doubt this will be the last one in the series. I did promise 7, and then after 7, I was going to quit, but I don't think so.
So is this 7 or?
So this will be 7, and there'll probably be an 8 and 9. So.
Yeah, duh.
Maybe a 10.
Here's a question. After writing so many, how do you handle writer's block? How do you stay creative?
This is a strange answer, but I like to not drink, not excessively, but I drink and I take a shower.
I see you in the shower holding your
Yeah.
smoking old fashioned.
When I bought my house, when my house flooded in New Orleans, and I bought a new house, it's a smaller house and it's a raised house, so that you would have to get on a ladder to look at my naked ass in the shower. So in the shower, there was a window, and I was going to do away with it. And then I thought, oh, what the hell? So it has, the window ledge. It's perfect to sit a drink on. And then I sit and I look outside in my trees and, and the birds. And I think, and I take long showers, and that's usually how I get out of it. I actually start another project, and then once I think about something else for a little while, then I'll come back to it, and then it usually clears up.
I have some of my best ideas in a shower or on a walk.
Yes. Those are good. I mean,
Not
walks
like
are good.
doing 50 things at once. But yeah, I definitely have issues with creativity, but it usually happens because I'm just distracted by something else. So a lot of times I'll just have to shut out the rest of the world, and just kind of focus. And what I do during those times is I set myself like, I'm going to write for 30 minutes and see how much I can get done. So I don't have this pressure of, I got to write all day or whatever, what I can do in that little pocket of time just to get something on paper, just to break the block.
Yeah. And then buying a new pen, you and I share this particular affliction.
Definitely. And you're wrong, right? I don't have I have to buy a pen because I handwrite my books. I just do it because I like them.
That is a funny story. I just bought my first Pilot Click fountain pen.
Oh.
And so I bought it. I love it. It writes fantastic.
Mine's orange.
Yeah. No, but mine is the black onyx one with the silver.
Oh, nice.
And,
I love these.
So I lose it. And I tear up my office. I tore up my office at home. I tore up my bedroom. I finally cleaned under the bed. I emptied my bag, and then so finally I was looking the other day, and I have a pen case for my Visconti pens, and I took it out. It had slid in the bag next to that one, so it's like I got all this stuff done. But I know, but well, some people want to know when Luca will be back. One of my favorite characters.
That's a good question. I'm always thinking about a Luca Bennett story, so I've kind of got something rocking around the back of my head. We'll see. We'll see.
One of my favorite characters ever.
I appreciate that. So somebody said if someone has never read your books, which one would you recommend to read first?
Depends. I guess if you're a series lover, I guess The Devil Inside would be the first one to be a good book to read. Either that or I guess as standalones, maybe the one before this one, The Inheritance, was one of my favorites actually. It was dedicated to my brother, but like you said, when one of them ends and they end well and you really like it, that was one of. I mean, I like them all, but that one turned out especially good. It was special to my heart, so I think that would be another one that would be really good. So,
definitely recommend those.
how about with you? What's the first one they should read?
I'm going to go way back to It Should Be a Crime. It's not a series book, it's a standalone, but a lot of those characters make cameos in other books,
Right.
And in fact, in the book that's coming out in June, someone needed a lawyer, and as is the case. And so I've popped back in, you know, Morgan Bradley from It Should Be a Crime, because, you know, people like Morgan, and I would hire her if I needed a lawyer. So there you go.
Very good. Very good.
I think we have time for like one more question.
Yes.
This time has flown. This has been a blast, though.
Let's see. How are you quarantined? Are you having inspiration? Is it a good look to come out after this experience? A good book coming out of this experience? That's a good question.
That is a good question.
So how are you quarantining?
I'm restless. I like to go out, and I mean, I like to run errands and, you know, drive around and go visit my favorite places and restaurants especially. So I'm very, very restless. It's been very hard.
That's what I mentioned the other day. I said, you know, there's this meme I read, and it was like, oh my God, that's me. It's like, who knew my 3 favorite hobbies were going out to restaurants, going to non-essential businesses,
Yes.
touching my face.
I'm right there with you.
Now this one, I go to the grocery, and I'm gardening. I like to garden anyway, but I've never been a vegetable kind of edible garden kind of person.
And now you have a tomato.
Laura Ray's kind of claim to fame.
Yeah,
But,
the bar is here.
yeah, I'm way down here. So I built one of those above ground gardens, and then I've actually been reading a lot, and then I'm actually working on the new Devil book. So that's how I'm.
Oh yeah, well that's good. I've been kind of scattered. The book. It's just like grinding teeth. So, but I think our time is up. Everybody make sure you tune in at 3:30 because we're going to have Ralph and Jessica Webb talking about medical emergencies in fiction.
That'll be a good one.
And that's going to be awesome. And Pal, it's always good to see you. I wish we could raise a glass in person, but we'll do that soon.
For the day, I can't wait for the day. And
Exactly. Love to all of you who tuned in, and everybody stay safe out there.
Yeah, definitely so. Stay safe, and we'll hope to see y'all soon at a live event.